future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Holy shitballs! It's time for the Pandora Boxx show. I'm Pandora Boxx, and it's my show. Thank you. Goodbye.
That's what time.
And just my co-host is here too, Samantha Hale.
Just a my.
She's just a co-host living in captivity.
Oh my God! Can we mute her microphone? Is there a way that we can accidentally?
I didn't. I did a little.
Just a my.
Just a little.
Why does that make me feel like a bottle of maple syrup? Just a my. What? Like Jemima? Like Aunt Jemima?
No.
What?
That's reaching.
Okay.
That's what we call a reaching joke.
That's what we. Oh, you know what? That's
reaching.
No, I can't, dude. We're what?
That was reaching.
A minute in, and I'm already. You know what?
Yeah.
Your soundboard could be mic'd.
And I'm looking at your notes, and they're all of those are going. All those
notes.
jokes.
I don't have notes.
Exactly.
I don't write
You
things.
should have notes. If that's your shitty joke,
Okay, Professor
you're opening with
Pandora.
it.
Okay. God, do you have anything nice to say?
Your boobs look lovely in that top.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Boobs.
Boob.
I just wanted to say
What
boobs.
if you just said
come
boob?
on.
Your left boob looks all right in that top.
Now, see, there, you've corrected yourself. That is a better joke to say.
See?
Your left boob looks great in
I'm
that top.
back in the
All
game.
right, we're back in it.
Everybody.
We're
Yay.
done.
Okay.
Ma, your left boob looks lovely today.
Am I right? One's a little offended.
So my mom is in town.
Hi,
She's visiting.
Mom.
Hi.
Hi.
She listens to the show. She loves it. She wants to meet you. I told her I don't know why, but she wants to meet you.
Oh my God! A
And then
man's
she-
mother wants to meet me.
And then she said,
Uh-oh.
you guys talk about vagina a lot.
Wow, we'll be talking about it next week too. I can guarantee it.
And I'm like, Mom, we never really, it's not like we set out to do it. Like, I never
No.
write down on the list of topics, vagina.
I do. It's my one note. There's just a giant V
Ew.
for vendetta. It's just a V. That's it.
Your vagina is
Has
going
a
out for a vendetta.
She is. She's about ready to leave my body if I don't.
I need
I
some
don't
meat. I need meat.
Oh my God, she sounds very unattractive.
She's very angry. I have that psychosis thing, that telekinesis that I just no thing. Like I get that extrasensory perceptional things going, and your vagina often speaks to me through telepathy.
Well, at least
here
she's
on the
talking
show.
to somebody.
That's probably why I talk about her a lot, because she's hungry.
Yeah, she's a Stranger Thing.
Neglected. And she says she's often repeatedly abused by you. And
Yes, she is.
She'd like to tell you that you're doing it wrong.
I can guarantee you I am not doing it wrong. I do not want to touch anybody else's, but I get along very well with mine. I'm all I have.
That's not what she says.
Oh! Did you guys have in-depth conversations?
Yeah,
Is that what's happening?
I'm now your counselor.
Oh,
I'm
my God. Oh my God. Is anybody hiring a co-host? I'm looking for work.
Nope.
Does anyone else have a non-paying gig?
You're not allowed to use this on your resume.
But that's the whole point.
I will give you a bad reference.
What?
I would be like, all she did was talk about her vagina.
But I'm trying really hard to get in with my gynecologist, so no.
All right, not there was a track to begin with, but I think we're way off track.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know where
think
we're
that
at. I think my caffeine just hit me.
I think it
so
did, because you just.
I'm like, woo!
Whoa. Oh my God! Someone take away her coffee. Somebody.
Oh,
You darling thing. You.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm affected. I'm a light, delicate soul, and
Are
caffeine
you?
gives me I am. Yes.
You actually are a delicate soul. You
Well,
really are.
wasn't it you in the green room that was like, "How'd you get that bruise?" I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, it was on her knee. Everybody, I just want to point that out.
The side of my knee.
Well, you got to get creative when you've done a lot of it.
Well, no, I bruise and sue easily. So,
Bruise and sue easily.
Yeah, I just don't know.
You're gonna bruise and then sue someone for bruising you when you don't know how you got the bruise.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like everyone else in California.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
suing.
No, I often am marred by bruises on my body, and I just don't remember where I get them. Because I'll hit myself, like I'll run into something, I'll go, "Ow, that really hurt," and then I forget about it, and I'm like, "Oh, there's that one."
Maybe if you ask your Uber driver from last night, he might have an idea.
Uber.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't take Uber.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lyft.
I take Lyft. I'm not bougie. I don't take.
Is Uber bougie?
Well, Uber is generally, I think you get a higher class of car, but I feel like Uber in LA is a lot of the LA taxi drivers that were terrible to begin with.
That realized taxis
and
are
now
like
they're
non-existent.
the taxi company that fought Uber and Lyft coming to LA and didn't want him. But I'm like, how do you even get a taxi in LA?
Yeah.
Because I've tried in West Hollywood before, and I literally went to the car that just dropped people off, and they drove away. And I'm like, do you just stand here? Do you wait? Do you call? I don't know what to do.
Right.
How to get it. I'm like, Lyft, you just go beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. And actually, Lyft, I feel like the drivers are a lot friendlier.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Now that I think about it, actually, the last time I took an Uber, the guy showed up in a Ford Fiesta. Let me tell you, nothing about that fucking car is a party. It's like if it were any smaller, it would be Trump's hands. It was awful.
That's
the
small.
only saving grace, like at least when that car runs, half the country doesn't threaten to move to Canada. Like we'll give it that. Yeah, no, I have not taken Uber since then.
Yeah, no, I don't really care what kind of car drops me off because I'm just if people are judging me, I'm just gonna be like, that was my trick, bitch. Bye.
Bye.
No, but I just feel like they're friendly, especially when I'm a little tipsy at night and I take a Lyft home.
You
and
tipsy?
You know,
What?
I get the ghost sometimes, and I get me a little vodka, and I like to tell stories.
You know what? I feel like just as much as we talk about my vagina, we talk about
Vodka. I mean,
your vodka
my-
problem, your alcoholism. Oh,
Yes.
that just got real.
Yeah.
No,
My
I love you.
manageable alcoholism.
Yeah. Well, but you know what though?
I mean,
But
I'm not
when
drunk
you-
now.
No, you're definitely not. But like when you're out, when you work like in a nightclub and you work at like a drag show or a comedy show, like people buy you drinks and you want to, loosen up, have a good time.
And
I
they're
get
nice.
it.
Well, and that's why I
Yeah.
take a Lyft because I don't want to drive. And I keep saying Lyft like they're a
Right.
sponsor, and they're
I
not.
know.
So I
Lyft,
take a
Lyft.
car.
Call
I take
us.
a car.
You're like hitting on Lyft right now. You're like that
should,
girl
actually.
that doesn't get that they're not into it. No, I think Lyft really likes
Hey,
me.
pay attention to me, Lyft.
But you know what,
Sponsor the
though?
show, Lyft.
But I will say, like, you are always so responsible about that. When you're out, you always lift. And good. That's great. I think that's awesome. That
Well,
you
when
do
I
that.
first moved here, I would
Drive drunk all the
No,
time.
not drive, but I would drive after I'd had a few drinks
Yeah.
from a show, and then I'm like, what am I
This is not
doing?
a good idea. Yeah.
Because it's not only endangering you, it's
Other
more
people.
endangering other people.
Right.
And also, it's endangering you being able to travel to another country because if you get a DUI here,
You can't. Like,
done.
yeah. You
So
can't
I'm
even
like-
go to like Canada.
But on top, that's like side reason. The biggest
Right.
reason is you don't need to
Safety.
harm anybody, and you think you're a better driver than you are.
yeah.
So, and it costs a little money, but I'd rather do that and be safe. And,
Right. But
and
you're
not have to worry about
You're
it.
saving money on parking anyway.
And the other
so
thing is, people
balance
just
out.
always want to do fucking shots. They're like, let's do a shot.
Shots.
Here's whiskey. I'm like, no.
Ugh,
I finally just say no to. I'm like, they're like, do you want to do a shot? Yes, but a kamikaze. And they're like, what? That's a pussy shot. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna drink half of it, and while you're not looking, I'm gonna
Yeah.
dump the rest on the floor.
Yeah. And I don't know why it's always Fireball. Everyone,
Oh.
I'm like, that's like drinking
That-
molasses.
like-
It's so thick.
It burns my throat, and then later it burns my butthole.
Yeah. Ooh. Sometimes at the same time.
Not in that burn like STD good way, like it burns because I had
Do you
dirty
see?
sex.
You just said burns good STD way. You see
Yeah.
why the bruise on your knee? I was like, well,
Well, I mean, an STD means you did something right?
There you
No,
go.
That's terrible.
You're,
What
yeah,
a
you're
terrible
terrible.
message.
You're a terrible. There are children listening. We
I
are
can't.
a family.
I practice safe
friendly.
sex, so I can't get an STD in my butt.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be in my butt either, because sometimes I'm like, no, girl, I'd rather eat a taco.
Oh, wow.
I should stop drinking caffeine because I'm
Yeah, well,
writing a note to
how
myself.
many shots are in that?
You just said STDs were good.
Yeah, you did. Did you just write that down as a note?
No, I just
Notes
scribbled
for
it.
next time.
I just scribbled it to make it look like I was writing notes.
Oh, don't worry. I'll remember.
This is also broadcast live, and it will be on iTunes for as long as iTunes is
Oh,
around,
and also,
so.
hi, Mom. Hi, Pandora's mom.
I've never had an
Smile
STD.
for the camera. Okay. Well, yeah. All right.
That's not
if you were
true.
Pinocchio, your nose would be a little large at the moment.
Everybody's had an STD. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Why do you have to look at what? You just clapped and looked at
That's
me.
the
I
clap.
get it.
They don't call it the clap anymore.
That
really.
seems so
I wish they
happy the
did.
way you did it.
No.
That's like, who wants the clap?
I do.
I do.
I want to puss and itch.
Oh, wow. Maybe we could get sponsored by, like, I don't know.
No one anymore. No one anymore.
No.
It's done.
No.
It's over.
Oh,
Was
it's
a
been a good
dream.
run. We lasted a
I
year.
mean, we could. I'll sit and bitch about not having a sponsor.
There we go.
Bitchin'.
Well,
Or maybe we are sponsored and nobody just
No one
realizes it
knows.
because certain things I keep talking about lift.
what did you say?
Lift.
What?
No, I know I can't say because I'm not really sponsored by them.
Oh,
but
I know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some people in interviews sometimes will drop names here and there because they are being.
Mm-hmm. They're like,
sponsored by
well, let
somebody.
me tell you about it.
Let me tell you about Tampax tampons because
Oh my God. I'm starting to feel like you have an obsession.
it's your vagina that keeps talking to me.
Oh, that's right. She does.
She whispers to me.
I'm just going to name her 11, like from Stranger Things. Well, no, maybe she'll be like 10 and a half because she's not really happy with me right now. She's going to start some fires pretty soon if I don't. Like, if we're in mid-conversation and my nose starts bleeding, you're going to know why.
She actually says that she'd like to be addressed as Miss Puss Puss.
No,
And
you
she would-
cannot
she
name
would
her.
like your gentleman callers to address her before they enter her. Miss Puss Puss, may I come in?
Oh my God. I am so glad our hot sound guy thinks that's funny. Did you hear that? You like puss puss? Is that acceptable? Straight wide? Yeah, he said it's cool. All right, you know what? We'll allow it.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Can
Okay.
we
have
Oh.
great guests.
Can we please bring them in to make this stop? Please bang down the door immediately, guest of honor.
Well, he's back. George B. Blake is back. A
Help me,
fabulous
George. I
a
need you.
comedian. And actually, someone that came on the show, and we had one guest not show up.
Oh, that's
So
right.
he was here with our mystery guest, which we
Our-
talked about victimized sausage and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, good memory.
So I'm glad that he came back after that. We
Thank
still had we had a
goodness.
good time.
We
on that
sure
show,
did.
yeah. And the head writer for Fashion Police
Yes.
and comedian fabulous
So funny.
Tony Tripoli is here
Yes.
today. So we have fabulous guests. I think that I should go get them.
Please do.
And I'll play one of my non-hit singles available on iTunes.
I know the name of my new one. Puss puss.
Oh my God.
When I saw you tonight on my iPhone app, I thought we'd make some sweet whoopee. Then I saw you emerge, came through the shadows. I vomited extensively. You stalked my Twitter and my Facebook, liked all my pics on Instagram. You said you were a swimsuit model, but your face is a beat up ham. Your pick was a sheep, I didn't question. When you said you're 6'3", I was deceived. When you slid the down low, it didn't freak me, yeah, yeah. I knew you seemed shady, knew you seemed shady to me. Thought you had retro style. Wrong. I then realized your pic was from 1983. I was ready to travel the 4,287 feet. Accuracy plus or minus 250 feet. I would have even walked. I didn't freak out when you told me I had a warrant. No, he didn't. For your arrest. Was too blinded by your six-pack abs, but it was Photoshop. When your pic was a sheep, I didn't question. When you said you're 6'3", I was deceived. When you said the down low, it didn't freak me. Yeah, yeah. I knew you seemed shady. Knew you seemed shady to me. So we suffered together through agony. I know the creeps we met committed felony. I knew you seemed shady. I knew you seemed shady. Knew you seemed shady to me. I didn't question when you said you're 6'3". I was deceived when you said the down low. It didn't freak me. Yeah, yeah. I knew you seemed shady. Knew you seemed shady to me.
Oh my God.
Yay, we're back.
They're here
We're
every
back.
week.
Thank you, studio audience. We're back with George B. Blake and Tony Tripoli.
Hello.
Hi.
This is a sexy panel of guests we have here.
It is. I think there could be nothing more gay than like Neil Patrick Harris and like Lady Gaga having a baby on the night of the Tonys. That's it.
I just met Neil Patrick Harris because he was at Precinct on Saturday night, and I was there because there was a big party called Bonkers that they have there. And Detox was performing in Manila, and my friend Sherry Vine, and I'm like, I haven't seen everybody in so long. I'm gonna go out, and then they're like, Neil Patrick Harris is here, and I was like, what? Where? He was standing right next to me. I turned around, I'm like, hi. And then I proceeded to talk to him. It might have been an hour because I was a little tipsy.
It was probably 10 minutes.
And I'm
drunk
hoping
time.
it wasn't because he did know who I was and has watched the show and is a big fan. In my head,
he did know.
he was, yes.
And you weren't dressed up.
No, but because I said, I'm Pandora Boxx. Blah, 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 blah,
you
blah,
better.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Like, yeah,
And
so
he
is
was really
everybody.
nice, but I feel like, at some point I'm like, I think maybe I rambled.
Maybe.
Were you every Drag Race fan that ever came up to you and was like, oh my God, I do drag too, therefore we're equal? And then they talked to you for an hour and you're like, oh.
No, I wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't.
That's good. I'm glad that you know that.
I'm aware of what yes, that's what I was afraid of. But when I thought, I'm like, no, I just said, oh, I really love your work, and I've met David, your husband, before at this event for the Hot 100, and I got really drunk off 2 drinks because the drinks were really strong or something. And then he goes, you know what? David got really drunk at that party too, and he only had 2. I'm like, well, at least it wasn't. Did he have to go do a show at Mickey's after? Because I was like, "Rrr."
Actually,
Yeah.
he did.
Oh, he
He
did.
did.
Okay, he was there.
Yes.
So that's when
Oh,
you keep your
gosh.
Winehouse stuff in the backseat of your car, just in case you've been drinking too much. Fuck it, who'll know? No one will know.
Oh, that's
They'll
not
be
a
like,
bad
it was
idea.
authentic.
Right?
He threw up in the front row. Oh my God.
So punk rock.
He
so
left it
messy.
all up
Yeah.
on the stage. My God.
Well, thank you for coming back on the
idea.
show, George, because I know when you happen to be the honored guest of being on our only show that another guest didn't show up for.
I love that. I'm the sub. I'm your diversity hire.
So it was just you and Samantha and I, and it was a fun show.
It was actually really fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
And everybody has shown up since.
I know.
So that's good.
You were just the lucky one.
I know.
I mean, if you want, I can make you wish I hadn't come.
No, I don't want it
Very
to happen
easy.
again. No, I was just
I can
to
do
say,
that
no.
easily.
And Tony Tripoli, your first time here.
Thank you so much. I'm such a fan of the show. I can't
head writer for Fashion Police and
Yeah.
just a endless list of things.
Just an endless list. Why bother? Just find me on Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter. That's it. Tony Tripoli.
And no, I Googled you, which always sounds dirty when you say it.
I
There's a lot
Googled
of-
you.
There's a lot of half-naked pictures of you online.
But I mean, but they're the right half.
Your junk
Trust
is
me.
covered.
Yeah, believe me. I'm sitting next to a black guy, and I'm the one with the big ass. So it's upper. It's all upper.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You can have the back half. I'll take the front.
I just as a mere observation.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it at all.
He has an
I'll say.
amazing
nice.
ass. It's
Oh,
amazing.
we're looking
Oh,
at
you're
pictures
so
now.
nice.
Damn.
Look.
Well,
Oh,
Yes.
that was the one.
Damn.
Do you want to know a funny story? So my poster, right, the show was called Dirty, Sexy, Funny, and it was like, I was doing shows in P-Town, so whatever, P-Town. I'm not famous, so you want to at least be like something that might get some people's attention. And I was in the same theater with Leslie Jordan, and after,
cool.
right, I was so excited to meet him
Yeah.
Yeah.
until he looked at my poster and looked at me and went, "Wow, Photoshop," and kept walking.
Oh, shit.
That was literally the only conversation I've ever had with him in my life. So it's a good business. It's fun.
That tiny little fucker.
I have a similar story actually, because I
Yeah.
did this horrible event that he was at. Just horrible because they made me. It was for the Chicago World Softball Series, and
Oh, boy.
And,
Well, there you go.
they had a really bad host like a year or two before, who was a gay comedian who was apparently so foul that they had to take him off stage, like be escorted off stage. I mean, I won't say who it was, Scott Thompson, but
Really? Okay.
And I was like, what do you have to say to offend a bunch of gay guys? Like, what? How bad does it have to be taken off stage?
Right.
So Leslie Jordan was there, and I was really excited to meet him. And I'm like, and he comes into the room, and I look down, and he's like, oh my God, where is she? Where I want to meet Pandora. Oh, there she is. Look at you. Oh, you look just like Tori Spelling. Before the surgery.
Oh, dang.
I
Well,
was
better,
like-
better before than after.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
right?
true.
Let's
Yeah.
make
That's
lemonade.
true.
Aren't you sweet?
Ask Dean.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
And I love him. I think he's great.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I wasn't trying to be nasty, but
Well, then
Yeah.
I saw him at the Gay Bucks one time, and he remembered that whole story. And-
see, that's nice.
Well, he remembered meeting me and he said that he had a shitty time there too. It was shitty for me because they made me script everything, like how to turn in a script of all the jokes, and they gave me softball jokes,
Oh,
yeah, those are
God.
hilarious.
and
ball
Classics.
jokes.
which all bombed.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I had a podium with all the note cards on there because I was really nervous. It's one of my first like I'm a host. I'm doing all this comedy, and it's a softball World Series, and the podium fell inside, so all the cards went, and nobody else could see except for the DJ who came over and held the podium up. While I scrambled to try and be funny with softball.
It's so
jokes.
glamorous, this business.
Not awkward at all.
You can't go to that lesbian fountain more than once. You know what I mean?
No.
Whoa, man.
Rough.
Oh.
And it was the first time all the guys had met, so they just really, they want to go to the bar and they want dick.
Yeah.
That's
my
really
God.
it.
And then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
that.
And it was
Oh,
a big
man.
warehouse, and the bar and everything was at the other end of it. So it's like there's 5 people in the front.
It's so interesting when you do, like, as a comic, when you do a gig for a bunch of non-comics and they're the ones who are organizing it. I put together a show for Mensa once,
Oh my
Mensa.
goodness.
Oh, wow.
And you would think there's some pretty smart people, right?
Too smart.
Too smart. I show up and they're like, microphone.
Oh my God, no!
I said, what? Oh my God. And my friend that got me the gig was horrified. She's like, I'm going to go to a Guitar Center right now and rent you one. I'm so sorry. And they just looked at me like I was the crazy one. I'm like, what?
Project. What's your
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And the funny thing was I was on, I had Annabelle DeSisto on that gig with me, who is a regular, well, she's come a couple times on our shows.
Yeah.
She, they loved her because all she did was just make fun of all the old guys. She just read them and they were like, oh, yeah. Like they were so gross. It was
I was supposed to do stand up for New Orleans Gay Pride. They do a big Southern. I can't remember what it's called. And they were like, oh, slight change. Just like a week before the show. Small change. We lost the venue for your show that night with the stage. We're just gonna have you go on during the pool party in the afternoon. No problem. And I was like, whoa.
Standing
Let's back
amongst
up.
people?
What?
I was like at the
A
pool, like
pool
out of the pool
party?
party, and they go, yeah, no problem. And I go, so what? I'm just gonna like stand on the diving board with a cordless mic and do a 45 minutes, and they were like, yeah.
no.
And I was like, no, that's
No.
a pool party. They just want to look at
They do
balls and
not wanna-
vodka. They don't.
yeah.
No one's listening to my poop jokes. So I was like,
For
you
45 minutes.
I won't
too.
be. I will not be coming.
So you
to-
didn't do
no-
it. You canceled.
No, I
Oh, thank
said
God.
I'm going to keep your deposit, and you can have the second
Thanks so
half of the
much.
fee back.
Right.
But that's where you get half up front.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
my
right.
God.
That's exactly
Because
why
they
you get
pull
half up front.
shenanigans the week before, and you
That
go,
is,
I'm staying home.
That is the best
Yeah.
advice RuPaul gave
Yes.
on departing from Drag Race. Like, we shot the reunion, and as she was leaving the room, she's like, "I'm gonna leave you with one piece of advice: get half the money up front and half when you walk on before you walk out on stage." And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's
Smart.
good advice." And I was like, well, even RuPaul's been screwed over,
Right.
clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
but I think as entertainresses, we often have really terrible shows that not us personally. I mean,
Right. Not the
we're
show you
still funny,
produce.
but the audiences
Yeah.
can be really, really terrible. And there are so many people that are just like, hey, just go be funny for like 30 minutes here. Here's a dark corner.
God.
Let's talk on the mic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I hosted one of my first paying gig, like my first actual hosting thing. It was for this like women in music festival in San Francisco at this big banquet hall, like the ballroom. I think it was called the Regency Ballroom. Big place.
I mean, women in music does not make me feel like big laughers.
yeah. And you know what
A
I
lot of
mean?
sensitivity going on.
Right?
Yeah, right off in San Francisco, right off the
Right?
top.
Everybody's
I'm
periods
nervous.
have just
Yeah.
synced.
This
It sounds like a lot of lesbians who laugh like this.
Yeah,
Really.
one little staccato
or like
grunt.
yeah, like a laugh is like a curl of the upper lip, and that's
Yeah.
all you
I
get.
don't have a lot of Ani DeFranco references
Right?
ready for tonight.
Exactly.
But I'm sure it'll be a hit.
Exactly. I love Ani DeFranco though. I'm gonna see her in
So do
October.
they.
I totally am. Okay. Maybe if she likes to crack lesbian jokes to me, I just
Samantha
completely
is
fucked myself.
mostly a complete lesbian, except that she doesn't like to eat vagina.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
There's
really
that.
what it is
yeah.
right now.
No. Yeah.
Well, there's all kinds of relationships.
True.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Most
True.
lesbians that have been together a while don't eat vagina. So I mean,
Yeah. No. I need a penis though. I can't give it up. I can't.
What about a suitcase of them in various colors, shapes, sizes, and textures?
website. I'll send you a
Oh
link.
my God. I'm just waiting for you to be like, funny that you mentioned it. And just open your
I just
sales
happen to have
case.
the Giorgio.
You're like the Willy Loman of dildos right now. What the fuck?
It's a dildo with outfits. Because you know, lesbian sex, I always think about that. I talked to a friend of mine who's a lesbian, and I'm like, you guys take so long. Like my husband and I have been together for 12 years. It's like 11 minutes. We're down to it. You do this, I do that, then we do the thing with the swirl, and we're done, right? And we're happy. I'm like, you lesbians been there for 2 hours. You have time to change outfits. You're doing each other's hair. You're arranging fucking lighting. It's amazing.
Well,
I
it's
know. You'd think they'd have TMJ.
right. Well, it's really hard to properly light a vagina. If you want a good pick, you got to get good lighting. You know?
Just turn the lights
There's
off.
crevices and things. Oh, yeah, I would
suggest
agree.
bastard amber as the gel. You know, you have the right color. It's all important.
Right.
Especially for black girls. You don't want to look too purple.
Ah, I see. Wow.
Bastard Amber is a really good
good.
gel. And it-
It's also a good drag name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Bastard Amber.
George.
Done.
Yeah.
Consider it done.
All
It's
right.
stolen.
Happy
It's
Halloween.
Consider it
Hashtag
stolen,
bastard
darling.
Amber.
Bastard Amber gives you just that right
So
glow.
wait, so you did the ladies' music
So
festival.
I did it. I did my, and I was, I think, a year and a half into comedy. I did my 20-minute set at the top. After I do it, it goes fine. It's great. And then the producer comes up to me and he was like, "Hey, you know what? I just realized that the headlining band has a big setup. They have a lot of gear to bring out. So why don't you go do another 30 minutes while they change the
Holy
gear?"
Shit.
And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You want me to just whip out 30
So many
minutes out of
things
my
wrong in
comedy
that
ass?"
sentence. Yeah.
So many. He had no
And
clue.
there's no curtain, so that we're gonna watch
No,
them strike
in
the
front
band.
of a crew striking
Yeah.
a drums. It's
Oh,
like
God.
sound
Clankety
checking
clank.
drum
Yeah,
sets.
right.
Well,
But
I'm
just be
trying to
funny.
land punchlines. Oh, it was a nightmare. I said no. I said, how about we do a Q&A with the audience and talk about music? So I just bullshitted my way through 30 minutes of
So it's a
whatever
golden
happened.
corral of
Yeah.
eating shit on stage.
Basically, but I
Just
said
one trough after another of shit.
basically, but I got my paycheck, so
Well,
Yeah.
I did what I agreed to do, and that's that.
I one more story before we get into some topics. I hosted Gay Pride in New York City, and it's the year that Lady Gaga was there and made that really empowered speech and sang the national anthem and killed it all. And they came up to me and they're like, first of all, they wanted the male announcer to announce her, so I couldn't announce her. And also, I was back behind 7 bodyguards, and she never said hello. Just putting it out there.
Oh, that's
It's
unfortunate. I know,
fine.
that
Made
you
hurt.
gag.
She might have been
gag.
like, she might have been really focused on doing that because I'm sure she really did make a great speech.
Yeah.
So I can't fault her, and whatever. And it's not like I tried. I just was like, I was trying to be respectful. But anyways, they didn't want any. They came up to me like, we don't want any of the acts to follow that because we just don't want to feel comfortable. So could you go out and like do some comedy for like 20 minutes?
Jeez.
Sure. I was like, oh, after that.
Oh man.
No one's ever going to be able to get anything from the audience after her. So could you go out and do 20 unprepared?
Yeah. No, totally unprepared.
Thank you for the suicide mission. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
I was like, So I actually went out and made fun of the fact that they just asked me to do that. And I think
Oh, that's smart.
I think
That's
I just
good.
started talking about drag
Hang
race
on,
things
hang
because
on.
I knew that like drag race bits and
Yeah.
little gossip and everything.
Yeah.
Gets,
That's
I think I told my Jujubee story.
Ah.
I won't tell that now. But so we always do a regular feature on the show called the Soapbox. Just so I can play that beautiful sound
like
effect.
it.
No.
So we talk about like gay things and pop culture and some weird news stories. So this actually is something that really I read and immediately pissed me off. But the Daily Beast journalist Nico Hines, he published an article called "I Got 3 Grindr Dates in an Hour in the Olympic Village," which he basically went on Grindr and like talked to all these people and then outed them in this magazine. And the terrible thing is that he outed some people that come from a country where you're going to be killed for being
Russia.
gay. And I don't even know what else to say except
And the
you're a
backlash
douchebag,
was
sir.
swift. It was one of those times
yeah.
where the Facebook outrage actually felt like, oh, this might actually make it. This might do something instead of change.org signing the petition. Like
Right.
this might actually, because Daily Beast then issued the apology. I think they took it down after like 24 hours, right?
But the problem is the internet. You
so.
can't really.
No,
take
it's there
anything.
forever.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
of course. But they, Daily Beast, they at least did something.
They were a little slow to
They were
do
very
anything
slow.
and to take it down.
And the
but-
journalist still has not issued any kind of
Apologized.
apology.
Wow.
No,
Idiot.
he was taken out of Rio. Like he was removed from the
The IOC took away his press credential
yeah.
Good.
in
excellent.
response to the backlash.
Right.
Wow.
How do you not think of these things?
But that's the kind of culture we live in. Like we're in a Twitterverse. Everybody just starts blurting out their 140 characters
Look what
or
I
whatever
did.
the hell
Look
it
what I
is.
did. I don't know. Well,
Right.
you know what? You're an asshole.
Well, I have kind of
Right.
a contrary opinion though on it though.
what?
I mean, I think what he did was terrible
Yeah.
because he endangered those people's lives.
Right.
Yeah.
But only the part where he gave too much information. He never said their names, but he gave too much information that you could very easily find out,
Figure it out.
that he's a volleyball player from Uganda or whatever. Like, it's one of these three guys, right?
Right.
But I don't think that it's. People were like, Grindr is our safe place, and you can't come here. And I'm like, well, no,
Grindr
I
is
do
a
think
safe
there's an
place.
interesting story to be told.
Right.
That so many people were hooking up in the Olympic Village, and there were probably more hookups happening on Grindr than on Tinder because gay guys. Men tend to hook up with a
make it
little less
happen.
back and forth than men and women do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
that
happy
is
about
okay.
that, by the way.
That's not.
Install a glory hole. Your name.
But people get very upset with there's all of these bachelorette parties in gay bars now, and I'm sure your shows there's a ton.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know the impulse is to be like this isn't for you, but then I also go, wait a minute, if we want equality.
Right.
Yes.
Then we don't get to have places that are private just for us. The
Right.
reason we had gay bars was because we would be killed if we
Right.
went to any other bar.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if we've now gotten to the place where we have this equality and we don't really have as much as we want, but then I think we have to give up a little of that control and go, okay, we're going to be getting married in your churches, which you might not
see
be
that.
thrilled with,
Well-
and you can come and text through my entire drag show at Hamburger Mary's. That's going to be the trade-off.
But
Right.
I agree with you. I think it's kind of interesting because I actually finished a play that I worked on called The Last Gay Pride about the idea of when you become equal, what the hell are you doing out on the fire truck? I mean, you know what I mean? What are you doing? It becomes a commemoration more than it becomes a statement of pride itself.
Yeah.
Like we look at pride now, most of us remember like what pride really was because we're all old as shit. And like 20 years ago, it was a brave act to go to a gay pride parade. Oh my
Right.
God, people will see me. And now like straight people come and it's kind of like it's great that it's everyone, but it does change the tenor of what you're there for. It becomes the party, like
It's a party now.
you know,
Right.
Well, I
like
think-
Halloween.
Yeah.
I think even young gay individuals don't know exactly what it's for. So I think that everybody should educate themselves. And with him in the article, if he hadn't have really clearly outed them, I wouldn't have had no problem with it.
Right.
I wouldn't
Right.
give a shit. And to talk about bachelorette parties. Okay, now here's the thing.
Oh, by the way, Tony, that's Delta Works' least favorite thing in the world.
In the universe.
Before
We've talked
every
about it
show,
many times.
yeah,
Well,
we
if
clock
you
how
see
many there are.
more than 2 women wearing the same matching tiara
hat.
or necklace,
Yeah.
you know you're fucked. As a
Exactly.
performer, you're just fucked.
Well,
You're
yeah.
fucked, you're
Exactly.
fucked, I'm fucked, you're fucked.
Now that said, actually, I have been and done shows with bachelorette parties that were actually fun because they were respectful. They weren't just there to get wasted.
Right.
They didn't think that they were strippers to come up and tip
Right.
with you.
Yeah.
They actually were just there having a good time. So that's actually the lesson to be learned. Is bachelorette parties. If you've never been to a fucking drag show before, that is not the night to come.
Yeah,
and
that's
act
not
a
your.
fool.
Yeah,
No.
that's not your first carnival.
I know
Yeah.
we should do. There's a drag show down the street. And then there's a gay guy should just show up like, no,
No,
honey.
I know. Just immediate.
ma'am.
Well, I always hate it when
It's like an instant, like the Allstate, like where they go.
Also,
"Right."
oh, like,
Right.
exactly.
when the
Mayhem.
when the
Yeah.
straight woman who's like carrying her shoes and she's like falling out of her dress, which really wasn't her size in
Which
the
I
first
love.
place.
Yes,
She's
exactly.
a
I
little
love it.
just like janky, and she's like, I mean, I'm just a gay guy, just trapped in a woman's body. You know, you're always like. But then I was complaining to Delta work about this,
Yeah.
and Delta was just like not having it from me.
I know.
I
She
love
goes,
gay
no,
guy trapped
because
in a
she
woman's
goes,
body.
but you know what? She goes, we get it so much worse because everybody is like, I mean, I'm totally a drag queen. I'm just with a vagina, and that is worse.
Well,
because
yeah.
it's like,
They
no,
wanna-
I've created a character and I've got
Right.
a look.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
want to touch your boob. They want to touch your wig.
Right.
They
Oh,
want to
yeah.
wear your wig.
They
They
try
try
to
to take your
slap
wig
your ass.
off.
Yeah, see, like
They want to
that's-
get up on stage and dance with you. They go to tip you, and then they turn around and go blah, 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 shaking their boobs. And it's like, nobody, you were not here for
Honey.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
Yeah.
that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I've seen everything from like
Yeah.
a really nice bridal party, which actually turned my idea of bridal parties around because they really were just there having a great time. They all had like tutus on. They had a little thing in their hair, not a penis, not a dick in their head.
See, that's yeah, right.
And we all were like, ooh, it's a bridal party. But they were really respectful, had a really great time, tipped, did everything
Yeah.
that you would normally do
Yeah.
at a show.
Yeah.
And then I've seen the worst,
Right.
where I'm really like, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
I'm
Are
going to
you
go to jail
noticing,
tonight.
a different. Could you like delineate them by like socioeconomic bracket or by political party? Like are Republicans a little more conservative and they're more respectful, and like Democrats are like fuck it.
Well, the
no,
Republicans
I think
are the
I-
ones that go shit house
They're-
crazy.
I think,
Yeah,
I
they
think it's
are.
reversed.
Yeah.
I'm in a
Totally
gay bar, but I don't like gay
Repression.
people, so now I'm really gonna just
Because
I'm
Try
part of
too
the
hard.
show.
Repression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can tell the ones that have never been to a gay bar
Yeah.
before,
Right.
and it
Yeah.
only really went because they thought it was a novelty thing
Right.
to go to a drag show.
Right. They
Well, and
wanna lick the
there's an
floor.
element of mockery. There's
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit of let's go look at them.
They're,
Right.
they're
Yeah.
laughing.
Won't
at
that be
us.
right?
Right.
Like it's not a zoo.
Right.
you
But also,
know,
like
we're-
I know it's different now, but like years ago when bachelorette parties would come, when gay marriage wasn't, something
Right.
that was
That's
happening,
just fucked
they're
up.
kind of coming in and being like, look, whoa, we're gonna
Right.
do
No,
this.
no, no.
We're not even considering the
pre-gay
fact.
marriage that was
Right.
like you need to not
Yeah.
be here
Yeah.
in your tiara,
But-
Yeah.
celebrating that you can
That's
do something that
not
we
cool.
cannot do.
Right.
Especially
And
when
it's
we
your
were
third time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you've been together
exactly.
12 years.
Exactly.
when we were really fighting and we were getting close to it. That's the time that it's like, no, you should not be out here.
Right.
at this
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's a little
Like back when
Yeah.
I was doing shows and where I was like, I don't. One, I wasn't even thinking about marriage because I'm like, just give me lots of
Right.
dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
Wait,
wrong
I
with
do that now.
No, I know. It's
Right.
like,
It's not
what has changed?
Nothing's changed.
Okay.
Jewelry.
Jewelry
That's
has
the
changed. Yeah,
difference.
exactly.
Sure.
The jewelry.
Well, I don't really have a segue, but anyway. So Johnny Depp has gone a little crazy and is having some issues. There's been issues with his wife, Amber.
Yeah.
And-
Bastard Amber.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. Like,
That's
I don't
what he
know.
calls her.
That's the thing. So there's a crazy video of him like slamming cupboards and screaming and yelling, and she's not very slyly recording it
all.
because she keeps moving the camera and standing near the phone and doing this whole thing. And
Yeah.
so that's why I question it. And he's clearly whatever drunk
Well, he
and pours a
puts
big
that
glass of
red wine
I mean,
in
the
that
biggest glass
goblet.
of red wine
Yeah.
I've
Right.
ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It might have been a big gulp.
And then just recently, he accidentally cut his fingertip off, and then wrote with
Ow.
the stump in blue paint something about Billy Bob because apparently
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
had an affair with Billy
With that
Bob.
big old thing.
Then they couldn't fix the finger because he had waited too long. So
The
now
little
he has
tip.
to- yeah,
Yeah,
the little
just
tip
the
of his
tip.
finger.
Just the tip.
You know how many
the
times the
tip.
tip has gotten
Yeah,
people
just
in
the
trouble.
tip.
Yeah.
So
he-
I'm a little disheartened because I have a man crush on Johnny Depp. And,
Really?
Wow.
yes.
I am shocked by that.
Well, and I have
too.
for a long time. I just
So
always
do you have
really
a
liked Johnny
crush on
Depp.
him then, Johnny Depp?
Are we
Have you
like Edward
frozen him in
Scissorhands?
time?
I think I have a crush on his movie character, so I would want him to dress up as one of them.
like Johnny Depp
All of
with
them.
a shower in like real life Johnny Depp is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little gross, but I don't know. Something I still like him.
Yeah.
Maybe
I-
he's into man smells.
Maybe I would just wash the genital area before I touched it. but,
Wash, power wash,
Take it to
stand
the
in the
car
front
wash.
fucking yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a whole like that kind of, well, do we believe her? Do we not believe her? Do we believe him? Do
Well,
we not
she got
believe him?
$7 million.
yeah.
To start.
$7 million
That's
settlement
a
they
lot
announced
of
today.
money.
Oh, it's
Oh,
done.
today
That's
they
it.
announced.
They
7
announced
million.
today
That's it?
$7 million is the settlement.
Jeez.
And the interesting thing in the statement was, and we're still remaining friends, and we just want everyone to know that nothing that we have said in the press during these divorce proceedings was untrue for monetary reasons. So they could be lies. They just want you to know that they weren't lying to try to get more money out of him in her case or pay less.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's really weird, but it's like 18 months.
Yeah.
So that's like $389,000 a month.
it's about right.
Like
my
that's a
God, I'll
solid. I
never
know her
have that in my
lawyer
life.
fees are major, but still
Yeah.
$7 million.
That's
Right.
shit.
When her last relationship was with a woman.
Right.
She was with a woman for many years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We
Yeah,
called
she was
her a
a model.
lesbian. Joan did a lesbian joke about her once on Fashion Police, and got a very, very angry call from her
Really?
publicist, who was like, "She is bisexual, and her next relationship could just as easily be with a man." And
But who
and
cares?
So Joan
Right,
was
but
like,
right
Joan
now-
felt really bad. Was like, "We'll never do another lesbian joke about her again." And then the bitch was right because then she hooked
Yeah.
up with Johnny Depp. So the publicist was a dick, but she was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Well, I think that at a certain time frame, if somebody's as famous as Johnny Depp, you eventually go crazy. Like,
You have to.
Probably
Everybody's
because you
gone
can't live
crazy.
your life.
Yeah.
You can't go to a Starbucks. You know.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine that.
Well, but I think he is the kind of famous that would be. Everyone's always going to say hi, but I don't think people are like Lady Gaga.
It's sort of that
It's ridiculous.
rare
Don't leave the
air.
house. Everyone, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And also, it's that thing. Like, you're gay fans. Like, you probably get it more when you're dressed, but they're just like, "Oh my God, Penna, I fucking love you, you dirty cunt, you fucking nasty bitch." And it's like, and you're like, none of those words, those are not nice words.
No.
Why is this?
I'm not
You're
a
saying it like
nasty
it's a
bitch.
compliment,
Right.
but gay guys get too familiar
Right.
with, and I'm sure like Lady Gaga, everywhere she goes, oh my God, you tranny,
Monster,
you got a dick. Like, I don't want to
monster.
hear
Right.
that. That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
cute. But Johnny Depp is
Right.
probably like, "Dude, you're super cool," and then he smells, so no one wants to get too close.
Right.
They move. They move on.
Enough, and they're like, shit, the aura.
The aura.
That is Depp.
Ugh, can you imagine?
The day.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah, so young Johnny Depp, yes.
Yeah.
Young Johnny. I used to actually have a fantasy of Johnny Depp and Richard Grieco just getting it the
Not
fuck
Richard
on.
Grieco.
Oh, yes.
Shut up.
Richard Grieco.
Oh my
Not good
God.
choices.
Young Richard Grieco was just oily enough to be sexy to me. Like, that was important to me back then.
Oily enough.
I had this whole thing with Italians, I swear to God. Like in the 80s.
Wow.
Any guy with dark hair, dark eyes, I was all the way in.
He
Blondes,
he
no.
had big hair too.
He did
Yeah,
have
he
big
did.
hair.
He probably still
Furious
does.
80s hair.
I love just a actor with one
Furious.
credit.
Yes,
That's
look at it.
fucking-
Look at the dimension and
Oh,
the
look at
dynamism.
that. An actor with one credit.
That's-
Hey, you know what?
'Cause
He,
they're attainable.
he had
Yeah.
a substantial role in A
They're
Night at the
attainable.
Roxbury, okay? That's a
Precisely.
big
Although he
deal.
looks like
Chris,
I
a
mean-
Chris Kattan vehicle is
Yeah.
your big IMDb moment.
Dude. Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Corky Romano.
Yeah.
I mean, though, if you saw Richard Grieco, like if you were looking through Netflix and there was a new movie and Richard Grieco's name was on it,
You'd
would you
s-
go,
you'd say
I'm not
no.
watching it, or would you be like, oh no, I just
No.
have
That
to
would
see
not
it.
be on
No,
the
no,
list.
I
I'm so
cannot.
scared.
See, I would have
he can't
to-
get called in for a Snickers commercial.
Oh.
Like, when you're hungry, you're not yourself. No one cares about you, Richard. They don't
Who the
care
fuck
whether
are you
you are
again?
yourself or not. Like,
I know you're not yourself, but who the fuck are you?
Oh, my God.
yeah.
Oh no.
That's hilarious.
I
Oh,
love
my God.
I'm sorry, poor Richard
Aw.
Grieco. I just please RuPaul's
was
Drag Race,
once-
please last for a couple more seasons so I can stay somewhat relevant. I know I lost twice, but let's keep that show alive. So
But you won in our hearts.
I won't
That's right.
I won't get a Snickers commercial either.
Well, I would just settle for a Snickers at this point.
Yeah, right.
I just want a Snickers now. That sounds
I have
really
one in
good.
my bag.
Do you?
Just kidding.
Did you see what she does to me? Did you see this?
Taunt.
She's like, I can't get dick, but I'll take a Snickers.
Oh, but you can't get the Snickers either. Not
then you
even
get
a
hit-
Butterfinger.
Wah, wah.
God, I am not winning today at all.
Do you ever win on the show?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, sorry, we're
Get 'em.
having a domestic
We're
squabble
having
right
like
now.
that.
We're reenacting Amber and Johnny just
I
in
know.
our own
Cut
way.
him- cut his
right?
finger
I
off.
I know. Ooh, give me your finger, bitch.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Just one little press on nail.
Really?
I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
break a press on.
Really? I don't have
No,
breath.
those
Don't
are really your
untuck for
nails.
this.
Will I get some publicity out of it?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Not even Pink News, which is really, really bad if Pink News doesn't cover you.
What is
They
Pink
cov-
News?
They're like a blog, like they're like a queerty. Like queerties,
They're like
pretty well
what's
established.
Bobby Trendy been up to
Right, exactly.
today?
Oh,
Is it that low? Is it that like?
Yes.
Oh bless. Okay.
Yes, it is every failed reality
Can't all be
star.
Richard Grieco.
I
Wow.
know.
That's true.
Can't
Damn.
all be a Greek.
Bobby Trendy really is sort of the gay Richard Grieco. Actually, now that he has one TV
Probably.
show, and
Yes.
then we thought he went away, and it turns out he didn't.
He's
No.
still milks it. He's pretty good at knowing that. I don't know his shtick. I see him out at bars. I'm like, hey, Bobby
Yeah.
Trendy.
Oh, really? You would. Hey, Bobby Trendy.
Yeah.
I'm doing fake lips. Hi, bro. Hey, girl.
Why do you sound like Mr. Hanky?
Hey, That's how we talks.
I like that.
I'm usually drunk when I see him.
Yeah.
It might not even be him.
Right, that's
No,
what-
it's
I
probably
just
not.
mean
when you're drunk, you're a racist. Everybody, they all look alike.
I can't respond to that because I'm white and I will be called a racist. So.
Yeah.
Wow. But would you have a profile that said no Asians?
No.
That was always so
Oh.
weird to me in guys' profiles. Like, that's so
Yeah.
completely bizarre. Just say what you like. Why do you have to say
Right.
what you don't like?
Yeah,
No, it's grotesque.
Like,
What
then when
a
all the
horrible
other
thing
white
to say.
guys, like,
It's a
no Asians have
it's
been
a
in my ass.
simple thing. Or if somebody like bloop bloops you, that's my grinder noise. Bloop, then just don't respond.
Yeah, that's
Right.
all
Right.
you do is not respond.
But the whole just a preference is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
bullshit. That's not a preference. You're
Right.
being a fucking racist.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you're real proud of it. 'cause
And
it's
you're
in
really
your headline.
assuming
Yeah.
too much
Yeah.
about someone.
So
Right.
just calm down.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was
What-
this guy that kept messaging me on OkCupid, and I just stopped responding. And eventually I had to write back, look, I'm not interested because under reading, the first thing you listed was the Bible. I'm like, that's not fun to read.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah, no.
I just don't think we're going to be compatible. That's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but just
Right.
like,
Well,
I don't want to be mean to you.
I mean, thank
so-
God he put that. Can
Yeah.
you imagine?
Yeah. Oh God, you show up and he's like,
You
well,
gotta
first
put
date
an
on
outfit
a in
together,
church.
and then someone goes, "Oh, the Bible." You're like, that better be the Cheesecake Factory menu.
I know,
Because if that's a
exactly.
Bible, this date is over.
Exactly. Cheesecake.
But see, the
I
thing
love
with gay
Cheesecake
guys and like
Factory.
Grindr is they're jacking off the whole time.
Ah.
So you think you're gonna meet someone, but he might finish before he sends you his address, or you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of a thing. So it's a little bit different. Like Tinder, like they're actually pretending that they're interested in seeing each other and talking.
I feel like this is what Domino's Pizza needs. Domino's Pizza needs to sponsor Grindr, and it just needs to be like 30 minutes or less.
Both,
That's not a
Both
bad
at your house,
idea.
right?
and the guy's the driver.
Right, yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Because let's be honest, if they're gonna bring a pizza,
Right?
they can be Asian.
In fact,
that's
they-
fine.
they can just have a
That's
profile.
fine now.
They
now
can-
I have no preference.
They can be fat, femme, and Asian.
My
If you're bringing a
preference.
pizza,
If there's
all of that.
pepperoni,
Right.
then I don't care who brings it. It can be Richard Grieco or Bobby
Richard
Trendy.
Grieco.
I
Not
don't care.
and Richard Grieco.
Oh my
There's
God.
hope for him yet.
We need to make a petition, Greco for Domino's
Yeah.
in the next
It's
commercial.
called
God.
it's called Greco.
He would
Although
love
that's
that.
actually a
He
really
would love
smart
that
idea.
gig.
Like if you're a guy right now and you're listening and you are a delivery driver for Domino's, I'm really sorry about your life first. But secondly, you should actually just put up a profile that says, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'll deliver the pizza and a little
Yeah.
something extra,
Right?
That's right.
a little extra sauce."
And it's always a meat lovers.
You give me a
Hey.
tip, and I'll give
Ooh,
you the
but you
whole
don't wanna
thing.
brag.
Yeah.
It's
you don't
a
want
dick
to
in
say
the
it's-
box.
Yeah, but what if it might not be a meat lovers? You might, if it's small, you want to say it's a veggie.
Ah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. No Hawaiian. Just a preference. Just a preference. Not a racist. I just don't like pineapple. Hot pineapple.
I've never seen a profile that says no whites. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you should read
That's
mine.
true.
Yeah.
you know, I actually
I've
Right.
seen it
I'll
in
write
the
it.
body
No
of
whites.
the
Exactly.
ad. I've seen in the
Yeah.
body of the ad, they'll say like, not into white guys, but it's always like a very like unassuming, like not into white guys, not like no whites. It's not
Right.
like Jim Crow.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, why can't they just say, "Girl, I like the BBC"?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because
The
that,
BBC.
then
That's-
people will
that's-
think that
that's
you're watching British
British
news.
television? I know.
Exactly.
And
That's
it's
big
like
black
nobody
cock.
wants to
Oh,
fuck
I know.
anybody well read.
No. Or with teeth like that. Hello. Orthodontia counts.
So we always do one topic on the show that just makes you go,
Yeah. You like
solid.
that?
sound
That's
effect.
really good.
That was teamwork.
So it actually just makes me go, what? Because it's insane. This suspected car thief in Florida, when he was presented to the judge, he got introduced to the judge.
Oh,
Came
is he?
out.
And
Your
now
Honor, I'd like
the
for you to meet-
defendant.
I've been doing drag shows way too long. And our next defendant,
The drunk bachelorette. Yeah, you're guilty.
he turned around and then he just started twerking for the judge, who was not
Not
impressed.
having it.
Not impressed
No.
whatsoever.
Like, well,
just twerked for
Probably
her.
takes a lot to impress that.
And,
Everybody's a critic.
Kim Davis's sister, who
Yeah.
that's what it looks like.
Gorgeous.
was
She's
just,
a gorgeous woman.
She just was like,
He was
And
breaking it down.
It's good to know. So, just people out there, twerking does not get you out of car thievery.
No.
It should. It's a fucking talent. I defy any straight guy in the world to say he has not tried it. Every straight guy has gotten out of the shower. He has walked past that full-length mirror, and he has just given it a shot. Everybody wants to know if they can make a little change. I want to know. Like, what if I can't do my job anymore? I got to feed my family.
I just like this whole Olympic, like the whole thing with like now we have a African American woman that wins a gold medal for swimming, and like I look at it's like as a comedian we deal with racial tropes and stereotypes, and like I can't have black women winning gold medals for swimming. That's bad for business. That is like I'm all for equality, and I want and I like you look at this video and I just go, well, of course this is. Makes me nervous when it's the black man in the orange jumpsuit trying to twerk for the unpleasant chubby white lady. But I just go, God, if only this was reversed, we could talk about it openly. If it was a black judge and and then just like a chunky white convict trying to shake it like, yeah, you like this, don't you, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Then it would be so much easier. This, I just feel like I shouldn't comment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But she is, she
looks
is so not
pissed.
having it.
She looks like Grimace. Remember Grimace from like Ronald McDonald?
Yeah. Oh, she looks pissed.
Yeah.
And he
I am
kind of
not
looks.
amused.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, all right. So, note to everyone out there: do not twerk to get out of a car theft. That's what we're going to leave the show on. And thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you. It was fun.
George, where can we find you on all the interwebs and
You may
things?
find me on my Instagram at the George Blake, or you can find me on what's the other one? Twitter at Gluten Free George. Just look for me. I have dreadlocks. They're gorgeous.
Beautiful. And Tony, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks.
Yay.
Anytime.
Where can we find you?
It's so easy. Tony Tripoli on Facebook and Instagram and Facebook. And if you're in Provincetown this weekend, I'm doing shows at the Provincetown Theater Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night.
I love that.
So
show.
yeah,
There,
so
go
shout
if
out
you
to
know,
P-Town.
I
Yeah.
love Provincetown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I want to go.
Me too.
You're
Party.
Straight lady. You can't. Okay. So,
Welcome you and your penis tiara.
Samantha, where can we find you and your collection of dildos?
Oh my God. On my therapist's couch after this. Twitter and Instagram at the Samantha Hale.
Fabulous. And I'm Pandora Boxx. That's why it's called the Pandora Boxx
That's
Show.
right.
And you can find everything on PandoraBoxx.com. And there's 2 X's in box because the extra X marks the spot.
Meow, meow, meow. Hey, everybody. No, meow. Oh my God.
No twerking. Because I can't. That's it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.